This podcast is part of the Soul Zone Network.
Hello, and welcome to the Butterfly Connection.
Connecting your soul to source with Molly Rahe-Randall and Sara Courtney.
We are all connected, and we are not alone. What if you could rebirth your soul, gain movement in your life, and reconnect with your authentic self?
Join us each week as we connect with Source to answer the burning questions that lie deep within us and gain clarity and wisdom to soar to our greatest potential.
It's time to fly.
This is BK13. Just say thank you. Hello, hello. It's Molly and Sara.
Hey, everyone.
We are back again, and we so appreciate you coming back again. I know last week was a very raw, emotional podcast, and if you have listened to it, we want to thank you for allowing us to be vulnerable and open up to you in that way. And we really, really hope that you have taken some time and allowed yourself to really open up and feel. So today we are going to spend some time talking about the positive emotions. And we want to start talking about, first and foremost, what occurs after you feel all of those negative feelings and all of the things we talked about last week. And they gave me the most beautiful analogy as we were starting this podcast, and I want to share it with you. So in that space where we're feeling all of these negative, sad, angry, whatever the emotion is that feels very negative to you, it feels very, very, very dark. And there's very little light when we're sitting in those emotions. But as you release those emotions, then comes the beautiful sunrise. And I want to start this podcast today with a little bit of a visualization. If you're in your car, please don't follow this, as we would not want you to close your eyes while you're driving. So keep this in mind. We'll put the time in where we're doing this in our episode notes so that you will be able to come back and utilize the visualization. But for right now, I just want you to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in and slowly let it out. And I want you to reflect back on a time where you allowed yourself to feel emotions, very sad emotions, and it felt very dark to you. And it did not feel good, but you allowed yourself to feel those feelings. And I want you to take a deep breath in and slowly let it out. And as you're letting out your breaths, we're just going to keep doing this, keep taking deep breaths in and out. I want you to imagine as you're letting that breath out that you are releasing any of those feelings that might still be sitting within you that maybe have just not quite released yet. I want you to give yourself permission to release those with every breath out. Any residual. And now I want you to imagine that you are either on a beach or on the top of a hill and you are watching the sunrise. And you can see the sun starting to rise and the sky is such a gorgeous color. You've got the oranges and the yellows and maybe some purples and blues. And you can see the sun slowly beginning to rise in the sky. And I want you to feel the warmth of the sun as it's rising. And breathe that in. Breathe in the new life of the new day. And the new day that is coming your way. It's a fresh day, a brand new day, and it is beautiful. It is as beautiful as that sun that is rising. And embrace that. And know that anything that was still stuck in you that just did not feel good, that you did not release, that's not there anymore. And I want you to smile. Smile in the beauty that is that sun rising and the beauty that is rising in your day, your brand new day, full of endless possibilities. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Thank you so much. That is such a beautiful, beautiful visualization. I was actually doing the visualization while Molly was going through it, and I actually saw myself on a boat. But a metaphor came to me. It's always darkest before the dawn. And when you feel through the negative emotions or the sadness and the anger, the light comes in that much brighter after the storm has passed, so to speak. So what this week is really about is once you've gone through all of what you've gone through, there is no other emotion left except that of joy, of happiness, of hope, of love, or any other beautiful, connected, higher vibrational energy that you can feel. And it just washes over your face like the sun. So once you're able to feel these emotions, these beautiful emotions, it's like a new day has dawned because you're now ready to move forward. You're ready to embrace this new thing, this new feeling. And by doing that, the sky's the limit.
Yes, and I have to say, when you look at life like it's a new day and the sun is washing over your face, you really can start to see all of the joyful things in life. And it can be as simple as looking out your window. I feel truly blessed every day when I look out my window in our family room. It is full of trees and birds and squirrels and all kinds of wildlife. And as I look beyond our yard, across our street is more trees and a stream and birds. And I get up every morning and I just look at the gloriousness that is nature and the beauty of nature. And I feel so grateful just to be able to see that every single morning. And I know everyone doesn't have the ability to see that sort of scenery every day, but just being able to open your eyes and see the new day is something to be so grateful for.
Yes. And I feel very deeply that this process it's built in such a way that when you feel the ugly feelings and then you release them, when you come to this place of being able to notice those things, like the sky or the trees or anything that you find to be of beauty, then if something does occur in your day or an emotion comes up, it bubbles up, I feel that it's then easier to go through it. So for every bad experience comes a good experience. And then it's like a ripple effect. Then the next time you feel that bubbled up sadness or that bubbled up anger, it's more tolerable. I'm never saying that it's easy to get through it, but somehow knowing that there's faith and hope that it's going to pass after I've experienced the worst of it, it just makes it easier every single time thereafter. Until one day, out of nowhere, you'll remember whatever it was that you were sad about, and it's just a memory. And you can look at it and say, wow, that time of my life when I felt that, I really learned so much in that moment or in that experience. And now I can look at that and understand it and use it in my daily life for good, not just for myself as a reminder, but for other people. And that's why I'm so blessed to be doing this podcast, because with my best friend Molly here, we're sharing our raw, we're sharing our love, we're sharing our ability to connect with all of you, but we're also in experiencing and then sharing, allowing you to grow. And I feel so blessed to be a part of that process.
Yes. And I feel blessed to have the opportunity to be doing this as well, because not only am I hoping that sharing our experiences are helping you to grow, but it is actually helping us to grow as well. This is not just unilateral.
Right.
It is happening all around. And, I have some really important people in my life that don't like to feel feelings, and not feeling feelings because you don't want to feel sad feelings is not the way to live. Because if you're not feeling sad feelings, then you cannot feel your happy feelings and your joyful feelings. And we were given feelings to feel, regardless of what those feel like. And I really want you to remember that. You cannot feel true joy in your life if you're not willing to give yourself permission to feel everything. And remember, if you begin to feel those feelings right away, especially the negative feelings, and you work through them, they're not as challenging to work through than if you stuff down 5 years worth of feelings or 5 months worth of feelings. If you just honor yourself in feeling everything, then life just moves by a lot more smoothly. Because, as Sara said, the joyful feelings, you'll feel them. And when something comes along that is a little bit more negative, it is much easier because you're having the ebb and flow and the balance of all of the feelings coming together.
And the yin and the yang.
Yes.
Because everything has a yin and a yang. And if you don't know what that means, it's what Molly was saying. It's a balance. And as they say, with the good comes the bad. With the bad comes the good. And as I've said in other podcasts, if you view the bad as the catalyst to get you to the good, then you can accept those things a lot easier and move through them even quicker. Because we all experience things and we all experience them in our own ways. So it's also an extreme message the Spirit is giving me right now that we all have to be not hard on ourselves. And to be completely honest with you, I don't even know where that thought process has ever come from. That we have to be perfect, that we have to do things in XYZ. It isn't even fathomable. It's not even possible. We're imperfect beings in an imperfect world, all learning our lessons at a different pace, at a different level, each on our own path and our own journey. So it doesn't make any sense to be hard on yourself. And I would just like to say that I am the worst critic of myself. I'm the pot calling the kettle black here because I'm very hard on myself and seem to feel a lot that I have to be perfect. But that's okay too, because as long as you acknowledge your flaws, that is another way that you can move through those emotions so that you can reach another level. Because my friends, being happy and feeling joy is another level. Have you ever walked into a room and you literally feel like it's like light in that room and everybody's bubbly and everybody's happy and giggling and laughing and joking with each other? How would you feel when you walk into that room? That energy is going to literally soak right into your soul and you're going to feel that joy. Now, aside from that, you go into another room where everybody's pretty much complaining and angry and upset, and you take on that energy and now you feel that. So by being in a joyful place, your vibration and frequency can change. And by staying in a negative space, your vibration and your energy cannot change. And that is when we feel stuck. So all the more reason why it's so important that we go through the emotions that are deterring us from that spiritual boost.
Yes. And piggybacking a little bit on what Sara said about feeling stuck, you may not like what I'm going to say, but that in many ways is a choice. And I'm going to give a little tough love information right now because I'm getting downloaded with it. And it's something we all need to hear. When we go into a situation, we have a choice. We can either focus on all of the negative things that aren't going right, all of the bad things that are happening, or we can choose to see all the positive things that are occurring and all of the beautiful things that are occurring. So for instance, say we decide to take a road trip. And on that road trip, the kids are being loud in the back seat. The husband forgets to fill up the gas tank. You forget something that really you didn't need, but you wanted to bring it along anyways. It could be anything. It could be an electronic. It could be anything. Well, heck, it could even be your deodorant. But you know what? Here's the thing about that. You could go, oh my God, this is going to be the worst trip ever. We have to make an extra trip to go to get gas. And then the kids are being so loud and obnoxious and I don't have deodorant and this is just going to be a problem. Well, okay, you can think that way and it could be the worst trip ever. Or you can completely flip your mindset on the situation. First and foremost, all right, husband forgot to get gas early. Not a big deal. Get gas on the way there. The worst thing that could happen is maybe you could all make a pit stop and stretch your legs. You can go anywhere to buy deodorant, or you could just embrace the fact that you might smell. I don't know, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the worst thing ever. You can go get some. And the kids might be loud in the back seat. Are you paying attention to why they're loud in the back seat? Maybe they're loud in the back seat because they're singing songs, or they're talking, or they're so excited to be going on this trip that they just can't stop talking. But we look at that sometimes as adults like, oh my gosh, this is driving me crazy. I have a headache from it. But my gosh, way to ruin an experience for your own kids or for the husband or for your own self. Because if you're too busy going, oh, I wanted it to be this way, I wanted it to be that way, you're missing out on the fact that you're getting to go on a trip. And all of those things are so minuscule and not important. It's the fact that your kids are happy and excited and singing songs and, oh, well, for the deodorant. Maybe you'll find a new brand in a store that you might like better and you didn't run out of gas. You just got to get some, but you're on the journey together. And sometimes that adventure isn't going to look the same way you have in your mind, but don't get disappointed in that. Find all the joyous reasons why it might be going that way. We don't always know why. We don't always have the answers to the why things aren't working out that way. And I'm just going to tell you a really brief, really funny story. We went to Orlando a couple years ago in January, and my kids brought their winter jackets. And I was so frustrated with my husband because he was supposed to get him a light jacket and he brought him winter jackets. And I'm like, what are you doing? We're going to Orlando. Well, guess what? It was 30 degrees in Orlando. It was 30 degrees. My children were freezing. And I go, oh my gosh. I was so grateful in that moment to the universe that whoever told my kids, probably their angels and guides, that said, grab your jacket because you're going to be cold. Thank you. And I didn't see that at first. I didn't appreciate that. I didn't see why, I was so frustrated by that. And then I felt I just was so hard on myself after that because I thought, oh my gosh, if they would have listened to me, they'd be even colder. But then in that aspect, you can't beat yourself up either because we are human and things are going to trigger our frustrations and that's okay. But as long as we forgive ourselves and can see the joy in the moment and reverse that thought process, you can still change your thought process, even if you started out thinking negatively.
Yes, that is amazing information, Molly. Thank you. They just told me something that you could do as a way to remember. So here is your call to action for this week. Anytime something's not going your way, well, they're asking you to say the words thank you out loud. So let's say you're stuck on the highway and you're in traffic and you're going to be late for work, say thank you. Or your child spilt milk on the floor and what you would have normally done is went, oh man, and started grumbling. Say thank you. And by doing that, you are telling the universe, I accept that this is happening, and I am going to use these words to shift my energy so that it is something that I know to just be part of what's happening.
And thank you for allowing me to be part of this bigger picture.
Amen. Yes. So anytime something happens this week, you say, thank you, where you would otherwise insert expletive here or whatnot. Because life is too short. And we're here today and possibly gone the next. And life is also a blessing. So the sooner that you can find the joy and the happiness and the love that is in this world in front of our face every single day, the sooner that you do that, the more joy can enter your life. And you can accept every single day as the most amazing day until you're no longer here.
Yeah. We are surrounded in so much beauty and joy. And the more we start to see it, the more we will see. And we all want to live a happy, fulfilling life. And in order to get there, we have to be able to see all of the joy that is around us.
And to say thank you for it.
So thank you for listening to us today. And many blessings. As always, you can check us out on our Facebook group, The Butterfly Connection. And you can also visit our website, thebutterflyconnection.com. Remember, that's spelled KINECTION. We have our guided journaling exercise for you, as always, that you can get on and practice your thank yous. As well as we have an intro to smudging video, and even our intro to guided journaling is really beneficial if you haven't tried the guided journaling yet. So get on there and check all of those things out. As always, we are here to help you in any way. We offer distance Reiki and quite a few other services that we have to offer for you.
Yes, and we also have our affirmations that we love to put in our group. So we'd love you to come on over to the group and click add and see all of the beautiful affirmations we have as well.
Well, thank you again so much. And may your week be filled with lots of thank yous, lots of blessings, and lots of joy. Thank you for listening to The Butterfly Connection with Molly Rahe-Randall and Sara Courtney.
Check out our website at thebutterflyconnection.com and download our free weekly guided journaling exercises.
We would love to hear from you. Subscribe to our podcast and give us a review. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest.
And join us next week for another soul-connecting conversation.